So last week, I almost met Connor Franta. I also got almost all my hair cut off, but that's a story for a different video. Anyway, I almost met Connor Franta, and now I can't stop thinking about it. And the reason I can't stop thinking about it is I'm upset. Tucker, come! Oh my god. Be right back. I have trapped the dog. And the reason I can't stop thinking about it is I'm upset. I'm frustrated. I was minutes away from meeting Connor Franta himself, the first YouTuber I would have ever met in person, and yet it just didn't happen. Let me explain. So last week I headed out to the city to meet some of my friends at a restaurant. While I was walking down the block, I got kind of lost and felt like I was going the wrong way. So I pulled the restaurant up on Google Maps, and turns out I was going the wrong way, so for the rest of the walk I was pretty much intently staring at my phone trying to figure out where I was going. So eventually I spotted the place, I headed over there and found my friends, who said hi and gave me hugs, and it was all very nice. So after a little bit of small talk, one of my friends goes,
"Hey Dana, guess who was just in here? Connor Franta."
So of course I was like, what? No way, no, why would he be here?
He's on this book tour. He has some sort of show here tomorrow.
And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But did you talk to him?
No, because we didn't realize it was him until he had left.
How? So it turns out he didn't just walk in the restaurant and walk out. 2 other girls saw him and took pictures with him right next to the table where my friends were sitting. Keep in mind that this is not a big fancy restaurant. It was a very small casual restaurant that didn't have a lot of people in it, and I'm pretty sure it was pretty obvious that Connor Franta was in that room. So I have no idea how they didn't realize it was him. After he walked in, they saw him and they saw other girls taking pictures with him. It doesn't make sense to me, but I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly how the situation played out. Not to mention, I could have walked right past him on my way there because I was so busy staring at my phone that I wasn't aware of my surroundings. In fact, when I got there, he had just been there like a few minutes ago, so he was probably still in the area and could have just been hanging outside the restaurant. Of course, I am not one for stalking YouTubers, so we stayed in the restaurant and had a nice time. After all, I was there to see my friends, not to meet Connor Franta. We left a little while later and looked casually for him as we walked around the city, but there were a lot of people and we didn't end up seeing him. And even though I had a really nice time with my friends, I couldn't help but feel really disappointed about what had happened. But why? It really bothers me that I got so upset over this incident. And some of you might be thinking, well, you are rightfully upset. You could have met this YouTube celebrity if only you'd walked a little bit faster and not gotten lost. Well, true, but no, I shouldn't be upset in the first place, and yet I am. This made me start thinking, why do people get so upset when they don't get to meet YouTube stars, or for that matter, any celebrity? They're just other people, right? So I now present to you the top 3 reasons why fandom members crave to meet their favorite celebrities, and how we can combat those feelings of jealousy. It's sad to say this, but meeting someone famous is most definitely a status symbol on the associated fandom. Out of the thousands or even millions of people subscribed to one YouTuber, only a small percentage of them will have met that person. If you watch any of those Meeting Markiplier or Meeting Dan and Phil videos on YouTube, the comment section is filled with people saying things like, "Aw, I'm so jealous," or "You're so lucky." That one person then becomes admired or envied by many other members of the fandom. And, well, sometimes it feels good to be envied once in a while, especially if you're usually on the other end. However, it's important to remember that YouTubers and other celebrities are just people. Meeting them doesn't elevate you to a god or make all of your troubles go away, or do anything other than get you some attention and likes on the internet for a few days. And of course, it can be fun to meet them, but in most cases, all you do is say a few words, get a picture and a hug, and move on. No life-changing speeches given, no magical amulet drifting down from the heavens to reward you for your accomplishment. And after a little while, you'll probably start to forget what the experience was like at all. Oh my god. When most people meet a YouTuber, they don't keep that story to themselves. Within an hour, it's all over Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr, Facebook, Reddit, MySpace. Whatever you kids are using these days. That was a joke. Was that a joke? Let's just move on. The story, of course, relates to your status in the fandom. The more people you tell your story to, the more people who are jealous of you, and the higher your status. And yes, I will keep doing finger quotes around the word status, because fandom status is really just a social construct that has no real-world applications, nor does it exist outside the minds of the individuals involved. Back to my point. You can wave that picture you took in the story you have around like a flag to everyone you know. You might want to tell your family, or your friends, or the members of your football team. Not necessarily to make them jealous, but because it's a cool story. But for those of you who are not one of these mythical story wielders, remember that there are plenty of awesome stories that you can tell too. No matter how boring or average you may think your life is, I guarantee you that something exciting has happened. Did you conquer your fear of roller coasters last summer? That's a story. Maybe you read the most incredible book ever and you want everyone to know about it. That's a story. Or perhaps you almost got hit by a car while crossing the road and could have died. That's a story too. And if you really don't have anything to say, go out there and make those stories. Have some adventures, talk to new people. Meeting your favorite celebrity is not the be-all end-all of your existence. There's so many other life-changing and inspiring experiences that you can have. You just have to find them. As much as some people love to deny this fact, YouTubers have helped thousands, perhaps millions, of kids, teens, and adults through difficult times. These situations can vary greatly, such as the loss of a pet or a loved one, or a frustrating mental condition. Of course, watching YouTube is not a replacement for legitimate therapy, but for some people it's the only thing they have access to. And if watching ordinary people making funny or creative videos online helps you or other viewers get through your problems, there is nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think that's amazing. Naturally, many viewers want to thank their favorite YouTubers for how much they've done to help, though since watching YouTube videos is a one-way conversation, this can be quite difficult. Many of the biggest YouTubers no longer accept fan mail, so writing a letter won't work, and most YouTubers don't let just anyone send them emails or DMs on Twitter and Tumblr. So if you have something really emotional that you want to say to a YouTuber, how else can you tell them except in person? Unfortunately, there is not much of a way around this. You can try sending something to their business email or spamming their Twitter, but there's no guarantee they'll read it. If you're really desperate to make them see something, perhaps try to find some organized group where you can submit a short message or artwork. Oftentimes I see birthday or channel anniversary videos being made for specific YouTubers that are a compilation of submissions from many different people. Those videos have a much greater chance of being seen than, say, a short Tumblr message. However, ultimately, the better route is to accept that you might not get your specific message to them, but that's okay. If you have faith in this YouTuber, then you know that they love every member of their audience, including you. And from all of the messages that they have gotten, they understand how much of an impact they've had on their viewers' lives. Really, the best thing you can do to say thanks is to keep supporting them. After all, without their audience, they're nothing. Be proud to be a part of that audience, and if you want, you can even share your emotional experience with other members of the fandom. There, you haven't even met a YouTuber and you've already got a great story to tell. All in all, as fun as it may be to meet a YouTuber, life will always carry on, and there's so many more exciting and rewarding experiences to experience. Just be thankful that those people make all of this content for you to watch whenever you want. The internet is truly an amazing invention. Keep in mind that most meetings with YouTubers are short and sweet and are not life-changing. The girl on Twitter who met Dan and Phil has no greater chance of accomplishing her dreams than me or any other person who has not met them. I love Dan and Phil a lot, yes, but my chances of meeting them are slim. It took a while, but I have come to terms with that fact, and I'm okay with it. There are people who are fortunate enough to be able to attend conventions and meet dozens of internet stars all in one place, and there are people who were able to snag the VIP tickets to the Amazing Tours Not in Fire, therefore kicking you and your friends out of that potential spot even though you were on the website the second the tickets were released. Then there are people who are not able to attend conventions, nor do they live in a place where YouTubers typically tour. Wow, say that 10 times fast. YouTubers typically tour, YouTubers typically tour, YouTubers typically tour, nope, that's not happening. But these two groups of people are essentially the same. There's no scientific evidence that people who can meet all these YouTube stars are more likely to live happier, fulfilling lives. You can choose to dwell on the fact that you missed a chance to meet a YouTuber or that you might never meet your favorite. Or, on the flip side, you can find other things to get excited about. Sure, I almost met Franta, but the time I spent hanging out with my friends, some of which I hadn't seen in almost a year, was, personally, a lot cooler. And remember, if you ever want to meet a YouTuber, all you gotta do is open up your browser, find their channel, and click on a video. Too cheesy? Yeah, too cheesy. Now, go out into the world and make those stories. But also watch YouTube too. Yeah. You should watch my last video, which is over here somewhere. And if you like this one, perhaps you'd like to subscribe as well. The choice is yours. You choose your own destiny. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just click something. Goodbye! That's good. Bye!